According to Zimbabwe census, the country has a young population of approximately 62% that is aged below the age of 25. However, young people continue to report age-related barriers in various spheres of their lives, such as employment, political participation, health, and justice systems. And of note is that youth who are below the age of 35 constitute 67.7% of the country's population, yet this group is continued to bear the brunt of social and political exclusion and vulnerability, as witnessed through high unemployment, low levels of political representation, and lack of opportunities. ZTN Head of Business Andy Hodges sat down with the Deputy Minister of Finance Kudakwashe David Mnangagwa to talk about the role of the youth in Zimbabwe's economy and society, the challenges that they are facing, and the measures taken to remove or address those challenges. Deputy Minister Mnangagwa talked about the mandate in relation to the youths and the economy.
Now, of course, we're speaking to the Minister of Finance and even other delegates. They always emphasized how youth, citizens in Africa under 35 make up like almost 60-70% of the population. It's probably going to get bigger and bigger. Zimbabwe, as you know, is really high, 60-70% as well in Zimbabwe.
From my key mandate, which is giving assistance to the minister, advising the minister on policy issues, and creating a bridge between administrative personnel and the minister himself. So I've been quite fortunate working with Professor Mnangagwa, my minister. I always joke with my wife that if politics and government doesn't work out, I'm going to come out of all of this with an Oxford degree, based on the tutelage of the minister. But he has assigned some specific areas that that I would superintend. The National Venture Capital Company, for example. I'm seeing the operationalization of that, and I think all the key cogs are being put into place. We have some of the entities that fall under the ministry's purview: Zimstat, IPAC, Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, the Securities Exchange Commission, all areas that I'm sort of superintending and overseeing, and the financial capital markets, just to make sure that they're in touch with the Treasury. We also have a lot of ad hoc work that comes in. Ad hoc being a huge understatement as to the roles that are there. But key to everything that I'm doing is pretty much to be the minister's crutch whenever he needs assistance on any of the programs that we're running. With my own bundle of responsibilities that is assigned to me. We'll also have the Offshore Financial Center, which is here in the Victoria Falls. That is tasked that we see to fruition. There's a lot of money in Zimbabwe from business, from locals, that ends up in Mauritius and Dubai. Let's have our own offshore financial center to allow our own investors, allow international investors to know that, look, if I'm a bit skeptical about getting into Zimbabwe, let me pit stop in Victoria Falls first, in the Offshore Financial Center. I'm parked, I'm protected by a different set of regulations, and let me deep test into the country. So this is something that we're putting together. I think the framework is already there. We're just fleshing it out and make sure that it becomes institutional.
Now, I did mention national railways. Is that part of your purview? Because it's so important because of trade.
You mentioned national rail. So what we have as a ministry is we have committees that I co-chair with fellow deputy ministers from the other ministries. And it has been for the critical ministries, agriculture. We always have to be in touch. So issues to do with the grain mobilization, pricing, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Education, now newly formed. We realize that the beam process hasn't been streamlined. So we have that committee, and we'll be bringing in social welfare as well to make sure that's streamlined. So NRZ is also something that falls in the subcommittee that I chair with Deputy Minister Sako, overseeing the recapitalization of that. So we've put in a committee that makes sure that all the stakeholders are in the same room, and we deeper dive into all the issues and give all the necessary support to that. So you will be seeing some recapitalization steps and plans coming into place. Railways is one of the key cogs in our economy. You have one of the biggest steel plants coming into Zimbabwe. That's only the biggest in Africa, but you have no way of transporting that besides for our roads. The same roads that are going through a lot of wear and tear will have increase in production on lithium, again putting further stress on the roads. So the question of whether we need to recapitalize NRZ or not is a foregone conclusion. It is now just making sure that it is streamlined and we're not stuck in that bureaucratic loop again. So it is something that, as a ministry, I've been tasked within a committee to make sure that we oversee.